Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so this is a follow-up video to yesterday's video. Link in the description if you haven't seen that video. But that video is about a potential downturn in the BLNR GMT ceramic market. Okay, and I'm going to start with a picture. Now, this is a picture from my friend's friend who went to the Las Vegas trade show, and you can see that there are BLNRs and all black GMT ceramic models for sale. It looks to me like you can see some prices there. It looks like the BLNR is running 15 grand. And again, these are insiders, these are wholesalers. They're looking to buy these, take them to shops, tack on 1,000 or 2,000 USD and sell them to you for, say, 17 grand. And to quote my friend's friend, they're not selling, okay? They're not selling, nobody's buying them, and the dealers are looking to dump them, okay? So it's kind of an interesting picture. And what I want to talk about today is some predictions for Rolex. And I first have to say that when you're making predictions and answering questions like, can you make money on a piece? Can you buy it and flip it and make a profit? If you buy it and try to get out of it, will you break even? Will you make money? Will you lose money? Is it going to go up in the future? Is it going to go down in the future? That all depends on what model you're talking about. Specifically, it's not just model, it's what reference you're talking about. If you're talking a 116000 Oyster Perpetual 36 millimeter, then if you put that into the equation, that's going to change whether you have the answers to the questions of, can you make money? Can you get out of it and break even? What's going to happen in the future? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? If you put into the equation a 116710 BLRO or BLNR, that's going to completely change all of the answers, okay, to those questions. So anybody trying to make a prediction about Rolex cannot do it in generalities. They have to pick a reference and talk about that reference and make predictions in regard to that reference, and that reference only, really. And so let's talk about the BLNR. Okay, these are my predictions for the BLNR. What's going to happen? Well, it appears that things are cooling. Now, a lot of people wrote in and they're not buying it. I hear you. Okay, you could be a bit skeptical. But let's draw a distinction between two scenarios. And the first is what I, for lack of a better term, would call organic price rise. Okay? And just to give you an example of that, I think the 16710 pre-ceramic GMTs have experienced an organic price rise. Now, when I started getting the Rolexes, they were running, I want to say, 6. And when I decided to buy one, they were running 7 plus. And now they're on the cheap end running about 10 grand. And what made me get this last GMT Master 2 was the fateful day that I went to Nakano, or as I like to call it, my Americanized Japanese Nakano, and I saw my model priced at 13 plus thousand USD, and I thought, if I ever do want to get another GMT, now's the time, okay, because it looks like it's going up. That sort of lit a fire under me to make that last GMT Master 2 purchase. Now, those are organic. Those are organic price rises, all right? People gradually paid more and retailers gradually added. And if they didn't, they noticed that their pieces go really quickly. So incremental, and it makes sense. That's organic, it's natural. All right, but let's compare that with the market of the BLNR. All right, so the BLNR has been discontinued in favor of the Batgirl. Okay, the internals are a little bit different, comes on a different bracelet now. They exchanged the polished middle link oyster, obviously for the Jubilee bracelet. And because it was discontinued, there was a sudden and very unnatural price rise. And where did that come from? It came from the retailers. Okay, that came from the retailers. They had this piece, they thought, we don't know what's going to happen, but we see a potential classic, we see a watch that you can't get anymore, and let's tack on a price. Okay, let's tack on a price. What do you think? What do you think? Let's up it by $5,000. Okay, and that's what they did. And the same could be said of the all black ceramic. Now, they decided that, and it sort of was really not organic because of that. I mean, how could they decide? Okay, the all black was selling for, I would say, 10 to 11 grand one day, and then about 48 hours it was selling for at least 5,000 USD more. Okay, so how did they decide that? Was it organic? No, it was just like, let's tack on a price, let's see what happens. Somebody buys it, fine. But the last thing they wanted to do is keep it at that low price and then miss out on a potential windfall in terms of profit making. Okay, and so they up the price. Now, some people are going to get caught up in this, and maybe they have the money, maybe they don't have the money, maybe they just think it's a potential classic, and that is going to go up even more. There's some people that are going to buy it, okay? But most people aren't, and I think most people, and correct me if I'm wrong, what do you think? Most people think it's a bit insane. It's a little bit over the top. And so that gives you a clue that it's sort of an unnatural situation. People are going, really? And even the people buying it are going, really? I got the money, I want it, I'm going to buy it. But really? Now, there's some people, I think, that think it's natural, and they think, well, it's gone up this much. It's gone up from, 10 to 17, okay? And it's going to go up more. Now, those people, I think, are wrong, and those people are banking on it going up more, okay? And I think they're going to have a rude awakening, all right? So because it's sort of unnatural and non-organic, and it really is just these dealers and retailers trying to cash in on the fact that this is a unobtainable model anymore. It's been discontinued. What you're going to see is, and I think this is yesterday's video, you're going to see it cool off, and you're going to see prices for the BLNR and possibly the all black. Not so sure about the all black, okay? But we'll just say the BLNR. Let's just keep it BLNR. We're going to see that go down. Okay, now what is it going to go down to? I said yesterday my guess would be 11 to 12. I'm not sure. I mean, I even hate to say that, okay, but maybe 13, okay, but it's going to go down, because everybody who wants to buy one, the BLNR at the $17,000 price, and thinks it's going to go up even more, and has the money that they don't even care that they're paying, outrageous prices, they're going to get it, okay? And everybody else is still going to be on the fence. And after a while, retailers are going to say, well, these aren't moving anymore. Okay, the people that pay the outrageous prices paid it, and they're done. And the people who know better, which is most of us, are still on the fence and not buying it. So it's going to have to come down. Now, the question is, how far will it come down? Well, the pre-ceramics, I think you can still get them for around 10, okay? And the BLNR, I don't think will ever go below the pre-ceramic, okay? Now, in the future, something weird could happen with the pre-ceramic, and it could kind of go the way of the 5512 and 5513, and it could possibly overtake the BLNR, possibly, okay? Because of its vintage status. And again, it would happen in a very organic, gradual way, right? But the BLNR it'll continue to cool, and my guess is it'll bottom out at 11, 12, or 13. 13 on the 13,000 on the high end, 11 cheapest at 11, and I don't know if it'll go that low, okay? And then from that point on, you're going to see organic growth. And Marc Goldberg left a great comment. In fact, I'm going to put his comment in this video's description. Read it. He thinks if you hold on to it in 10 years, you could be well rewarded. I agree. I think it might be a little longer than that, 15 or 20. But once it bottoms out a little bit and prices aren't insane anymore, and it reaches that price level of what I think you could call, reasonable, then it's going to have an organic price rise, much like the pre-ceramics. Okay, and I think in 20 years, possibly it could reach 17 again and go up from there. Now, all of this is contingent on what Rolex does with the Batgirl and people's reaction to the Batgirl. Now, here in Japan, the Batgirl, I think, is going to be very popular. Why? Because I think people here forget whether they think the Jubilee is feminine or whether it's not as cool as the Oyster. People here like the new trendy thing, and that's what the Batgirl is. So I think you can expect here, people are going to go crazy for the Batgirl here in Japan, and the Batgirl is going to overtake the BLNR in popularity. Now, if you think that's not the case in your country, that's fine, but I think that's going to be the situation here. And for that reason, if you think, or if my friend's friend thinks that it's cooling, the BLNR market is cooling in Las Vegas, I think it's really gonna cool here. And I think shops like TWC that have $17,000 plus Oyster braceleted BLNRs, I think they're gonna realize they're not selling them anymore. And I think those prices are gonna have to go down even more drastically than I think in the States, right? And I think that's going to even be quicker once the Batgirls start coming out. Because once the Batgirls start coming out, then that's going to affect what people shopping at the watch company want. Okay, do you think this a wealthy tourist, are they going to go for the Batgirl or the Oyster braceleted Batman? Okay, they're going to go for the Batgirl. Why? Because they want to take it back to their country and have the first Batgirl, all right? And in that sense, the BLNR, the Batman, is going to kind of, in their mind, become old news. Now, could the watch company maintain their prices of 17,000 USD for the BLNR and then put something like 20 for the Batgirl? That could happen. That could happen. And that could happen. And if that happens, that's possible. But I have a feeling that it'll have to come down. All right. So I think you're going to see in the next year or so, you're going to see the Batman go down to 11, 12, 13 grand, and then it's going to kind of stabilize. And just like Marc says, read that comment in the description. It's going to go back up. I think it's going to take a little longer than a decade, but by 2 decades, I think it might reach that, back up to that 17 mark, possibly. But again, here's the caveat. We don't know what people's reactions to the Batgirl are going to be. And the Batgirl, they're still making it, and it's better internals, and that could pull the rug out from under the Batman in the future, and that could really change things, all right? So let me know what you think. We just talked BLNR now. Whole different conversation depending on whether you're talking really the all blacks ceramic or the pre-ceramics. But that's my prediction. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think? What's off in this prediction? Let me know. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.